Hello and welcome to Aliceland. My name is Alice and I welcome you to another show here on Tuesday in Aliceland. Today I brought again Ian because he is going to talk to us about the changes and the choices and the chances, the 3 C's of Aliceland. So welcome to Aliceland again. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you. And I see you brought your pictures that we have started the show with. And I'm going to ask Ian a few questions and he's going to explain to us from an artist's point of view how life can change and how a painting can change from the empty screen, from the empty platform to a beautiful creativity.
At the beginning of the show, we saw how these things began, how these paintings were just a concept of like a seed of ideas, and how everything is presented in the canvas and how all the choices are there. We as artists create everything and we are just observing the creation and taking beauty out of it until it's ready, until it comes through and we have the painting finalized. So this was an opportunity to see the whole process unfold in front of our eyes.
I cannot help, but I see a heart, I see a kidney, I see many faces here. What like you painting in so many faces? Is it like a face of yourself? Sometimes you feel blue, sometimes you feel green, sometimes you feel yellow, or is it something that just came through wisdom, through being connected to the source?
This is about the connection that everybody has to the source. And for example, you can see that there's different faces and all of them are connected to each other in their specific way. Our minds, our hearts, we are forming a living system that is connected to each other and expands and gets bigger and bigger. And this is representing how people get connected through emotions, through ideas, and through all the senses. You can see from, for example, here there's a person over here, outside there's a person here, there's more people here, and we're all connected in abstract ways through our senses, which is what this painting is all about. This painting is called Aria, and it is just explaining all of these concepts of interconnectedness. And the rest of this comes as a result. For example, these small hearts. You can see that there's a heart here symbolizing the actual anatomy of a heart that's pumping blood, but actually the emotions and the person that is feeling them.
Oh, wow, yes, I can see it. And why did you choose these blue colors?
Well, these are the 3 primary colors, as we all know, yellow, red, and blue. And then they are all mix into the others, green and purple, which are all in this painting. And then this one explains that the same connection we have with nature and we flow with nature. And this connects as well in abstract ways through the mummy shapes here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's the connection between the humans, nature, and the cosmos. And how our minds are connected, how our thoughts flow from one person to the other, and how our emotions affect everything that we do. And of course, this is like a clear explanation of how we have the choices and we have the changes and we have to manifest. We have the ability to take from that infinite creativity and manifest something in this 3D reality.
When you are painting, does that creation come from your thinking, or does it come from your heart, or does it come from your soul? Because I'm not an artist, where do these ideas come from and how do you grab them and manifest them on the board?
First of all, let me correct you, because everybody in this planet is a born artist. Some people just know that they are artists and they practice and they get good at it. Some people don't know about it or forget. And it's just a matter of awakening, and you will see that there's power in our hands and that we create the world as we know it. We're all artists in our everyday lives. Some of us are more aware than others, and art is in everything we do. Where do new ideas come from? This is a philosophical question. That's the same place where these paintings come from. Sometimes I see them in abstract ways, in the trees, in the leaves, in the light that shines through. Sometimes I go to sleep, and in my dreams I see a gallery where my paintings are already painted. That helps me a lot to visualize these things. It's like a communication with my inner self that's aiding me to see past all the chaos and see through clearly through what is the creation itself. And that's how I collect data. That is not actually from my mind, it's just what is. And as much as I don't think about it, it flows. So I actually turn off thought and I go by instinct. And it is something like knowing when is your favorite. You know yourself. When is your favorite food? What is your favorite film? What is your favorite music? And like this, a painting talks with me in that same language.
Okay, so then when you have the canvas on, it actually talks to you. Yeah. And then if you turn off your mind, so it's a choiceless choice because you already know
it's a
that
dialogue.
It's there. And then you allow your hand to just pick the color and just finish the picture. If
you put it that way, it's a very mysterious, esoteric process, but actually it's very simple because it's already done. The things are all just a matter of grabbing them. It is like having a music in your head, having a song or a melody in your head and actually mumming it. And that's the beginning.
Totally, I understand that. Yes. So you have created these 3 hearts. Are you planning to continue painting a little more hearts?
Yes.
Or?
This is just the beginning of a series of hearts that I'm gonna make into kind of a puzzle that connects, that forms the whole person. And the heart is just the beginning of that whole series. And it's just all connected to the paintings that are bringing up these ideas, and I'm just putting them in different formats so people understand each concept, because there's so many in a big painting.
Yes.
That people will not be able to observe in a single session of viewing that painting, because there's like an anatomical heart, and then there's a kidney, and then there's like 8 kinds of people, all of them with a story to tell. So in order to aid...
I can even see the liver and the spleen and all of that is just playing, depending how your mind wants to, create them, because this is incredible.
I made an abstraction of all of them. So they were just like pieces of a puzzle that I just incorporated and integrated into these human shapes. And that's why you see all of these organs almost speaking to you as if they were real, because that's how they started. I just grabbed the human anatomy and then made an abstract integration into the other beings in this painting.
I'm going to ask you a question because I write. That's what I do. That's my art. For me, it's very important to do meditation. And if I meditate and if I allow my mind to sink and I get in that silence, that is when that wisdom or knowing what I want to write and how I want to write it, and the hand actually writes it itself. Do you meditate?
Yes, I do. I try to incorporate the elements of meditation into my practical life, and it's an emptying of the inner world in order to capture that which surrounds us, which we are all part of. So as much as we are empty, it's just a connection with the rest, because there's no blockages, there's no interference, and you can clearly connect to that which we are all from. And that's where new ideas come from, new creativity, energy to do everything that we do, because it's all coming from the same source. It's from kind of the sun. It's just an energy that's shining all the time on us. And that's where we create from. As an artist, I use that every day, and I live by meditation, but it's a creative ritual.
Yes.
more or less, that gets stronger with time. So you can create more solidly, and you can see more clearly with time, and you can your hands respond to the thoughts, and the movement goes according to what you intend. And that's just a daily practice that is very like meditation itself. It's just with a creative purpose, and it is very similar and very, very close to meditation.
How long have you been painting?
It's now 12 years.
12 years. And have you ever been in a moment when you just felt dry, when even you just looked at the canvas and you just said, I just don't have it? And did you have doubts in yourself and saying, what am I doing? Because sometimes when I open a page and it's empty and it's looking at me and I want to write and the hands are there, but nothing is coming. Do you have moments like that?
Well, sometimes it does happen. And it's sometimes the chaos in everyday lives that affect, Sometimes you want to rush into things, or you have a deadline that is pushing you, and you cannot push something that goes beyond the physical realm, because this is painting, this is art. It cannot be having a pressure on top of it. It flows naturally. So sometimes I just kind of detach and take a break from these things, find my center. I go to other things like music, or I exercise, and that brings me back into a peaceful center. Then I go back to the canvas and I try to see the beauty. And if it's speaking, I go into it. If it's not speaking, I start a new one. Sometimes I get a lot of paintings that are unfinished, that's not a desirable place to be, but it gives me like a perspective of what I can do, and then something eventually clicks, and then the channel starts to flow again. But it's important to be in that openness and be with the intention of perceiving that which is beyond the senses, and then it flows. Eventually it flows. It's just like a dam that is getting fuller and fuller, and all of a sudden the pressure will just break through.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, because you have actually right now explained the 3 C's. Don't worry when you have a dead moment, or where you have that moment of life when you don't know what you are doing. Just take a deep breath, go for a walk, listen to the music, and listen to the first C, the chance to recognize who you are, and listen to the wisdom, and learn to listen in the silence. And only then can you make the choiceless choice, because you will know. You will know what's the next step. And from the next step, the changes are coming, just like we saw on Ian's painting here today. Thank you so much, my friends, for coming to Aliceland. Thank you, Ian, for coming again.
My pleasure.
And sharing your beautiful, beautiful art. And I hope that I will see you soon again. Thank you so much again for coming to Aliceland. And should you have any questions or need to talk about anything, please write below the Aliceland video, and I would be more than happy to answer any of them. Have a beautiful, beautiful week from my heart to your heart, and don't forget, you are the miracle. Live it, be it, and love it.